Ooh, did you see that? Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you've never ever been here before. I am Shona Vertue, and I am a personal trainer, yoga teacher, ex-gymnast, and creator of the Virtue Method, which I'll put here. There, see that? Yeah, that's my book. What I'm going to take you through today is an intermediate / advanced. It's really difficult to actually determine whether something is intermediate or advanced because guess what? That's relative. It's basically a slightly more difficult yoga sequence. It's definitely not something that I would suggest you do if you are new to yoga or just starting out. I move relatively quickly and I pay attention to form because I will, whether you're a beginner or advanced. However, I don't spend loads of time breaking down each posture. I talk about the key things with each. So there is some sort of assumed prior knowledge. Now, for those of you that have been doing my videos for a while, I would urge you, no, not urge, that's a bit aggressive. I would encourage you to give this one a go because it will challenge you, but that's why we're here, right? To be challenged slightly. So the key things that I will say is that it's not suitable if you are beginner, pregnant, ill, or injured. Okay, that's it. I was gonna kind of give you a bit more of an intro as to why I chose certain postures and why I did this and that, but you know what, I'm gonna let the practice speak for itself. You can see how it feels in your body. It's very much in alignment with what I preach throughout the whole book and throughout my entire method called the Virtue Method. All right, and before you get started with the practice, if you haven't already, subscribe because you wanna get notified when I release these babies so that you're always encouraged to take care of your body. Because there's too much encouragement and temptation in this world to not take care of your body. And you and your body deserves more than that. I sound sarcastic, but I'm being serious. Okay, have fun. Let's get on the mat right now. So before we take on this sequence, I'd actually like to kind of pre-prep you for the sequence. And let's just come down into a squat, move from side to side, and just create a little bit of space in the hips here. So this is not the yoga sequence, but as a personal trainer and a yogi, I really like to acknowledge that yoga is a movement practice that, you know, was created many moons ago. And because of that, it means that, you know, obviously our lifestyle back then, just keep moving from side to side, was very different. Yeah? Come back into stillness and we'll just stay in Vinyasa for a sec. So to assume that the practice is going to apply to every single body and every single type of lifestyle, at least on a physical level, unless you're taking the whole practice of yoga, isn't necessarily going to be the most effective in helping your body. So what I mean by that is that if you spend, for example, 8 hours a day in a chair, you cannot come to the yoga practice and expect it to just work for you immediately. So I like to prep the body in order to get the most out of the practice. What we're going to do is, as I said, open the hips a little bit prior to actually starting the sequence. And I'm also going to get you to switch your glutes on because this wouldn't be a Virtue Method yoga session if we didn't. So you're going to come down now onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest and we'll just keep the right leg in, let the left leg extend to the floor. Grab hold of the right leg, take it up so that it's hovering, your knee is hovering just above your hip. Pull it up and just start to take it around in circles. So we're just creating a little bit of traction in the joint here. Yeah, creating a little bit of space. And the reason we need to create that space is that, you know, well, there's a number of reasons, but generally over time, you know, the hip joint gets stuck, it gets sort of deep into that ball and socket, right, or into that socket. And so you need to create that space, and that space therefore allows for, you know, the stimulation of synovial fluid into the joint. It just becomes a whole lot more healthy. If you are a runner, you are jamming those hips deep into, make sure you move in the other direction, you're jamming those hips deep into that socket. So you've got to create space. If you lift weight, if you spend lots of time sitting at desks, okay? Now let's place that right foot down onto the floor. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. Take the right hand to the back of the head, lift the head and shoulders off. Belly pulls in and ribs it down. From here, you're gonna drive it to your hip, into your heel, and lift your hips off the floor. Drop back down, drive up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. So we'll change sides. Keep the left knee hugged in, right leg extends. And just allow yourself to relax there. Pavanmuktasana, creating a little bit of an opening for the inner thigh, the hip, and then also compression for your stomach. And on this side, your descending colon, on the other side, the ascending. Grab hold of the leg, take it around in circles. But as you take it around in circles, remember you're pulling up, yeah, away from the hip. To try and create a little bit more space in the hip joint. Moving it around. We'll go in the other direction as well. Keep it pulling up. Keep it nice and heavy. Okay. Take that leg back down to the floor. Hug the left knee in, right knee in, sorry. Place the foot down. Drive through the heel. Hand to the back of the head. Let's lift. 1, 2, rolling on the spine slightly. 3, 4, 5, ribs down. 6, core tight. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough. Hug the knees into the chest. We don't want to exhaust the glutes, but we do want them to switch on. You're going to roll onto your side. Left elbow down onto the floor, right leg extends up. So still working on that left side, so hips tip down. From here, sideline glute bridge, just 10. Okay, normally I'm getting you guys to do like 30. So from here, lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to turn around, show you the other side. So this exercise is working the top part of your glute. The other part was working your max, your glute max. Elbow down, hand on hip. Let's go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Okay, coming back up, we're going to prep the wrists. So, coming onto your knees, hands come down. From here, let's stretch, tuck the hands under, and just create a little bit of a stretch for the front of the wrists and the forearms. Move forward and then shift back. Forward, shift back. So it's a bit of a dynamic stretch. We don't want to go into like a long hold passive stretch. We want those forearms to be able to switch on. Move back and forth. Okay, turn them the other way, fingers to point towards you. And then from here, forward. As you come back, let the heels of the hands peel off. Comes off slightly, you stretch through the front of the fingertips. Forward and exhale. Forward and exhale. Forward and exhale. Now come into an all fours position properly. You're going to bring your fists to the floor, holding it here, and then we're just going to turn forward, back to the side. Yeah? So my fists, wrist turn in, wrists face my knees. Wrist turn in, and face my knees. Okay? Pronation and neutral grip. For those of you gym junkies or yogis or physios that know what that actually means. I try not to use those words too much because also obviously it's a little bit confusing at times. But it's always good to know them as well. Okay, then coming into the fingertips. Yeah? So you're going fingers, palms, fingertips, palms, fingertips. Try and take the weight, palms, yeah? And we'll go alternate. So now finger on the right side, right palm, left palm. Left fingers, right fingers, left palm, right palm. I know this seems kind of like, when's the practice going to begin? But once we start the actual Vinyasa practice, I don't want to have to stop to be like, okay, correct this, do this, and just let's warm up your wrists. I'd rather you sort of be prepped and ready. Come to sit back down onto the heels, and as you do, tuck your toes. So you're in this position, we're stretching out the soles of the feet, and we can just roll like this. But I'd like you to do it in a sort of fancy way, fabulous way. So pulling the fingers in, rounding, and then rolling. Yeah? So they turn to the front, pinkies in, round, roll, round, roll. So just try to create a lot of space, obviously, in the tissue, but also like proprioception a little bit. So really trying to feel everything, because ultimately when you start to pick up the pace, and this is an intermediate / advanced class, I need you to be like straight in the game. I don't want you to have to kind of figure it out slowly over time, because we're moving quickly. So the more that you can kind of just like really get into your body pre-practice, the better. So start to obviously shake it out, do what I'm doing, and we'll get ready. Okay, let's come into child's pose. Toes touch, knees out nice and wide, push the hips to the heels, and we'll use this to find the vinyasa of the breath. And once we start flowing with that breath, I want to really maximize on the beauty of vinyasa yoga, which to me is the fluidity and the moving meditation that we can start to get. Okay, so take your hands forward, arms extend, drop the head down. Let yourself settle into this position, noticing the sensations in the body, noticing any feedback that you're getting, and then we'll continue with the breath. Let's take a deep breath in, inhale. Feel the back of the ribs here, so try to breathe into the back body, which gets a little bit neglected. And then exhale, soften down, and as you soften down, maybe there's some extra space to stretch a little bit further. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, feel the opening. Back of the ribs separate. Exhale, soften down, and don't skimp out on that exhalation. Make sure you're breathing all the way out. Inhale, open it up. And exhale. Inhale, pull forward into an all-fours position onto the hands and knees. Adjust the knees so that they're hip distance, hands are shoulder distance. Spread the fingers nice and wide here and begin to press into the tips of your fingers. Yeah, so we're not just dumping all the weight into our wrists. We're activating really through the forearms, fingers, hands. They're really all working. Okay, that's going to protect your wrists from a strong power vinyasa practice. From here, take a breath in, let the spine relax, don't go into some crazy back bend, lift the head slightly, and then exhale, starting from the ribs and the belly button, pull in, round the spine, let the head drop down, try to stretch the back of the shoulders, but also feel that your core is activating. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head and the hips slightly. And then exhale, belly button to the spine, push the floor away. That's the first part, starting from the core. Round, inhale. And exhale. Try to let the breath move you, rather than you moving the breath or the body. Let the breath move your body through this. And exhale. I invite you to close your eyes because it will help you connect to sensation a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to a flat spine, tuck the toes, and press back into downward facing dog. Shake out your head, yes and no, back of the neck releases again, just flagging the wrists, make sure you're pressing into the fingertips. Start to walk out through the back of the legs, opening up through the body. Do whatever you feel you need to do to kind of loosen up your down dog that little bit more. Relax your jaw, relax your neck. Opening up through the back of the legs here, hips move from side to side to help stretch the side body, and then we'll find that traditional downward facing dog position. Feet hip distance apart, outer edges of the feet are parallel to the sides of your mat. Your traps are active here, your belly pulls in, and your lower ribs pull in as well, jaw relaxed. Try to lift the inner arches of the feet if you know that you have pronating feet or knee valgus with the knees dropping in. So try to make sure that we you've got correct alignment there. From here, inhale, pull forward, rounding through the spine into the push-up position. Squeeze through the glutes. Again, fingertips pressing into the floor. Find that more gymnastic variation of your push-up. So you're slightly rounded rather than butt up in the air. Take a breath in here. Exhale. Inhale. Elbows shade the sides of the wrists, elbows, we come down towards the floor. Let's come right down. Release the tops of the feet. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift into cobra. Hands come off, glutes squeeze. Shoulders pull down the back. Hands come back to the floor. Maybe pushing up into upward dog if you feel ready. Knees, hips, thighs off. Squeeze the glutes. Do not drop your head back and crank your cervical spine. Keep the chin tucked in. Gentle extension of the head. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So let's go again. Inhale, come forward, high push-up, rounding through the spine, find the fluidity. Exhale, lower down, elbows shave the sides of the body, come down. Inhale, cobra, if you can, even coming into upward dog, try not to touch the floor. Roll straight up, shoulders squeeze. Exhale, use your abs to pull back. Downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, find your variation that works for you. Exhale, number one priority is the breath, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Bend your knees, look forward, walk the feet all the way up to the hands. Halfway lift here, inhale. Exhale, grab the back of the legs, hug in and stretch. From here, inhale, halfway lift, look forward and lengthen. Exhale, hug in and stretch. Inhale, halfway. Feel that extension in the spine. Exhale, hug in and stretch. Again, noticing that moving meditation. Trying to let the breath move you. Inhale. And exhale, hug in. Each time getting that little bit closer and using the arms less and more, your compression power, belly pulls in. Fingertips to the floor, toe heel your feet back together. Unroll all the way up to standing. Stack each vertebra one at a time. As your head lifts, go ahead, reach the arms up, palms together, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, stay standing, bring the hands back to the heart, keep your legs active, shoulders relaxed, ribs down. Chin tucks in. Release the arms, keep the legs active, belly in, glutes squeezed, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Okay, come to stand at the top of your mat and bring your toes to touch, heels very slightly apart. Again, if you know that you have pronating feet, please make sure that you lift your inner arches. And you can do that not just with your tibialis or your feet, but also sort of feel like you're turning out by activating your glutes a little bit as well. And they should be active anyway. Okay, belly pulls in. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Let's find the rhythm of the breath with 3 breaths. Inhale. Back of the ribs expand. Don't overextend through the chest. Exhale. Find your Ujjayi breath with that slight restriction at the back of the throat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, crack the eyes open. So remember that slow moving breath. Let's let the sun salutations move at that same pace. So from here, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward, releasing down, drop the body. Fingertips either to the floor or to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift, Uttanasana. And then from here, hold the breath, just step back into your push-up. Let your body warm up here. Shoulders forward, exhale, lower down, elbows shave the sides of the body. Inhale, either cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Let the back of the neck release. Shake out your head, yes and no. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Pull the rib cage in. Relax your jaw. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Finish the breath completely. Make sure you're not dumping that weight into the wrists. Grip into all 10 fingers. Inhale. Final exhale, 3. Empty the lungs completely. Do not rush to move. When you finally get to the end of the breath, bend the knees, look forward, flex through the feet, and then just slowly walk the feet up to the hands. Warm into the jump. Hands come to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Use the hands to create a little bit more space here. And then exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana, drop the head in, hug in. Inhale, come up with a flat back, lengthen all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands come back to the heart, relax the shoulders here. Release the arms. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, Adha Uttanasana. Hold the breath, and from there, we're not gonna breathe out, we're gonna jump back. Palms press into the floor, go for it. When you get to Chaturanga, exhale now. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing. Take a breath in here. Full breath out. Watch those inner arches of the feet. Relax the back of the neck, rib cage in. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Final exhale, 3. Empty the lungs, lift the heels, look forward. Step or float the feet up to the hands, hips high. Silent landing. Inhale, halfway lift. Create that space. Exhale, move into that space. Uttanasana, folding in. Drop and tuck the chin in all the way if you can. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale. Lengthen, but keep the glutes squeezed. Ribs down. Exhale, hands come back to the heart. Relax the shoulders. Release. Inhale. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, halfway. Look forward and lengthen. Hold the breath. Jump or float back, belly in. We're going to Chaturanga, not to high push-up. Now breathe out. Inhale, Cobra or all the way to Up Dog. Exhale, use your core, downward facing dog, press back. Breathe in, breathe out, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out, 2. Push into the floor. Activate your upper traps, pushing the floor away. Inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, look forward. Get ready to float, lifting up high. Silent landing. Halfway lift here. Exhale, hug in and stretch. Come up to standing. Inhale, arms reach up, lengthen. Squeeze through the glutes. Exhale, hands come back to the heart, relaxing the shoulders. Have a look down at your feet and make sure the toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. Swing the arms back behind you, sit down low into your Utkatasana position. Swing your arms forward, lengthen up, hold here. Now, in Utkatasana, I want you to try and feel like, to get your glutes involved, try to peel the mat apart. Yeah, so that will activate glutes a little bit. So you're trying to push down and out. From there, belly in, ribs in, tailbone tucks, lengthen up, inhale. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back, hug the shoulder blades in together, drop the head down. Hands to the floor, inhale, halfway lift. Pull forward, belly pulls in, get nice and tight here, little hop. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, glide back, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high, inhale, do not open the hip, keep the hips square and use your right glute to make it squeeze up. None of this, let's make it active. Belly in. From there, exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands. If it doesn't make it, grab your ankle, pull it forward. Back toes turn out. Back foot presses to the floor, inner arch is lifted. From here, warrior 1, inhale. Reaching up, bring the palms together and cross the thumbs. Hug the arms into the ears, lengthen up. Breathe in.
Breathe out, 1. Belly in, ribs in. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Try to square off the hips. Inhale, reach up higher. Exhale, 3. Hands come down to the floor. Step back into your push-up. Core tight, lower, down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg lifts. Keep those hips square, please, please, please. Core tight, everything active. From there, swing the foot forward in between the hands. Back foot flattens to the floor. Back outer edge of the foot is down. Inner arch is lifted, hips are square. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sink into your warrior 1, but really try to rotate the hips. Breathe in. Breathe out, 1. Breathe in, sink deeper, 2. Breathe in, reach up, exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into your push-up position, exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog, press into the fingertips, exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Take a breath in, release. Inhale. Exhale, 2. How are those inner arches? Inhale. Exhale, 3. Lift the heels. Breathe out fully. Look forward. Get high with the hips. Silent. So from here, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, grab the back of the legs, hug in and stretch. Bend your knees, sit down. Utkatasana, sitting into the heels. Pulling the mat apart, arms reach up. Exhale, drop forward, interlace the fingers behind the back, hug the shoulder blades in, drop the head down. Halfway lift here, inhale. Hug in, lean forward, belly in. Chaturanga, inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, core tight, belly in, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Inhale, keep the hips square. Exhale, swing it forward. Warrior 1. Inhale. Straight back down. Exhale. To the floor. Inhale. Cobra or up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog, press back. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Swing it forward, exhale. Back foot flat, inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, take it down to the floor. Step it back, find your chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing. Hold it here, inhale. Exhale, 1, shake out your head. Back of the neck releases. You should be using your shoulders. Exhale, 2. Rib cage is in, belly pulls in as well. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Lift the heels, look forward. Let's get the hips high. Silent landing. Halfway lift here, inhale. Exhale, grab the back of the legs and stretch, dropping the chin in. Sit down, Utkatasana. Reaching your arms forward and up. Exhale, drop forward, interlace the fingers, hug the shoulder blades in, drop the head down. Third and last, sun salutation B. Release the hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Belly in, core tight. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Press into all 10 fingers. Exhale, downward facing, right leg lifts. Inhale. Step it forward, exhale. Back toes turn out, inhale. Warrior 1, come up. Exhale, take it straight back down. Core tight, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg lifts, inhale. Step it forward, exhale. Back toes turn out. Inhale up as you rise. Exhale, take it down. To the floor, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. 3 breaths here, inhale. Exhale, 1, full exhalations here. Focus on that, relax the face. Inhale, Back of the ribs expand, but rib cage pulls in. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale here, and then get ready. Let's float. Pull them in silently. Inhale, halfway lift here. Grab the back of the legs. Exhale, hug in and stretch. Try to really pull the stomach in as you do it. And then from here, find Utkatasana. Inhale. Hold it here for me, splitting the mat apart, rib cage in. Hands come to the heart, tuck the chin in. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to twist to the left, hook your left elbow on the outside of the right knee, of the left knee. Right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Palms press, belly in. Try to get your hips lower than your heart and your weight back into your heels. Your right knee is going to try and creep forward and separate. Pull it back. Inhale, come back to center. Extend up. Exhale, fold forward, down. Toe heel the feet apart so that they're hip distance. You're gonna find your pistol grip with your peace fingers hooking around your big toes. Halfway lift here, inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, rather than just using your arms, hug your belly in and feel as though as you pull into this, it's actually coming from the strength of your lower abs and your compression ability. Relaxing through the back of the neck, shoulders release. You're pulling with the biceps, the muscles on the front of the arms, but actually also with your core. Body weight comes forward here. Inhale. Soften out of it slightly, and then exhale, try to get longer, almost like you wanted to get the crown of the head to the floor. From here, fingertips back to the floor, toe heel your feet back together, bend your knees, sit down, Utkatasana. Lift up, inhale. Good. From here, exhale, hands back to the heart, relax the shoulders, twist slightly, and bring your left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Palms press, belly in, twist. You're trying to bring the ribs to meet your sternum to meet your thumbs. Belly pulls away. As you do this, keep the knees nice and square together. Inhaling, twist deeper as you exhale. Sit those hips lower. Come back to center, inhale, arms reach. And then exhale, fold forward, releasing down. Toe heel your feet apart, hip distance. Now you can either take your pistol grip or Padahastasana, lifting the soles of the feet and coming to stand on the palms of the hands. Wiggle your toes and give your wrists and your hands a little bit of a massage actually while we're here, why not? Okay, and then start to lean forward slightly, belly in, same thing. Find that compression strength. Dropping the head down, bringing your body weight forward, keeping your thighs active, yeah? So hypermobile yogis, if your knees are hyperextending, but you're just kind of locking them out without any activity in the quads, tiny micro bend, and try to activate your quads here. Breathe in, pull deeper as you exhale. Release the hands. From here, fingertips come back to the floor. Toe heel the feet back together. Sit down, Utkatasana. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, come to standing. Relax the shoulders. Okay, so step your feet so that they're hip distance apart. And from here, let's take the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Drop down, releasing forward. Take the hands down so they're about shoulder distance apart. Start to shift your weight forward, lifting the heels off the floor. Place your knees into your armpits. Lean forward, core tight, head looks forward. Pull your feet in, point your toes. Crow or crane as you start to straighten your arms or legs if you were a crane. From here, try to shoot your legs back as you come into Chaturanga. Inhale, either cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, belly pulls in. Don't worry if you didn't get the shoot back. It's something that we can work on, and if you'd like to do it, obviously don't stop and leave a comment now, but leave a comment later when the practice is over and you can let me know, and I'm happy to workshop that. Shake out your head, yes and no. Back of the neck releases. Belly pulls in, ribs pull in as well. Let's refine the vinyasa. So let's just refine that fluid breath. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Right leg lifts here. Inhale again. Keep your hips square so you really stretch the outer hamstring. Glute has to do the work on the right side. Ribs stay in. Swing that foot forward in between the hands and keep that back heel off. Belly pulls in. Crescent lunge from here. Arms reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Relax the shoulders, sink into it slightly. Now let's bend the back knee. Tuck the tailbone. You can do it with your hands. And then try to straighten the back leg, yeah? Keeping the front leg bent as well. And then reach the arms back up, inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper, 1. Don't overarch your back. Inhale. Exhale, 2. The reason for that is that if you go into full extension, you're gonna struggle to move the diaphragm properly. Inhale. Exhale, back foot flat, warrior 2. Open the hips, open the arms. Relax the shoulders, ribs down, tailbone tucks. Front glute is on by really pushing that knee out. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Back inner arch is lifted. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Sink that little bit deeper. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reach forward, up and back. Reverse warrior. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step back to push up, core tight. Lower down, exhale. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Left leg lifts, inhale. Keep the hips square. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands. Inhale, come up into the lunge. Exhale, sink a little deeper into it. Back leg bends. Let's find that nice positioning so we actually stretch the front of the hip, not just crunch into the lower back. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Final exhale, 3. Back foot flattens to the floor. Find your warrior 2. Relax through the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, belly in. Exhale, 3. Sink deeper, flip the front palm. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step back to push up. Core tight, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Right leg lifts on your next inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward. Come up, 1 breath, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Watch carefully. From here, we're gonna reach around, windmill the arms, back heel comes off. You inhale, right hand comes to the back of the left leg, left arm comes up, reach up and back, twisting. Exhale, bend your left elbow, hook it on the outside of the right knee, palms together, press into twisting crescent lunge. Pull here. Inhale, exhale, 1. Squeeze your left glute. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, final exhale, 3. Look down to the floor, hands come down, step back into the push-up, keep the right leg lifted, lower. Inhale, put it down, cobra or up dog. Exhale, belly in, downward facing. Left leg lifts, inhale. Swing it forward, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Windmill the arms, inhale. Reach up and back, left hand back of the right leg. Reach. And then hook your elbow on the outside of the left knee. Palms press, belly in. Twist. Back right leg is squeezed, particularly the glute. Exhale, 2. How's that Ujjayi breath? Inhale. Exhale, 3. Look to the floor, hands come down. Step back as you inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Stay in your down dog while I fix my mic. Shake out your head yes and no. And then from here, right leg lifts, please. Inhale. Swing it forward. Exhale. Come into the lunge. Inhale. Warrior two. Exhale. Same move. Windmill. Up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Twisting lunge. Palms together. One breath here only. Inhale. Lift the body. From here, we're moving into our martial arts position. So twisting around, weight comes onto that front leg completely, lifting through the foot but pointing through the toes. Trying to sink your hips as low as you can without dropping down. Hold it here and stay active. Arms reach forward. Inhale, exhale, hold. Inhale, exhale, hold. Folding slightly. Lift through the chest. Use the strength of your legs to come back around. Arms reach up. Inhale. Open them out. Back bend, but keeping the chest open. Hands come down to the floor. Step back into push-up. Core tight. Right leg stays lifted. Use your glutes to do it. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Cobra or up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Press back. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Step the foot forward. Exhale. Inhale. Come into your crescent lunge. Warrior two. Exhale. So twisting, windmill, up and around. Inhale. One breath per movement here, guys. Exhale. Hook, twist. Find the position straight away. We twist around. Inhale. Exhale. Shift that weight. Find that strength. Sinking down, reaching forward, but both legs active. Inhale, lift slightly, exhale. Pointing through those right toes. Inhale, exhale. Find the strength, lift the chest. Inhale, come back around to center. Arms reach up, open out through the chest, rounding down. Step back, keep that back leg lifted, lower down, exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Right leg lifts, please. Inhale, swing the foot forward, exhale. From here, back foot flattens. We're coming straight up into warrior two. So windmill your arms, inhale, and exhale, sink into it. You're gonna interlace the fingers behind the back, hug the shoulder blades in together, lift up through the chest. Inhale, exhale, humble warrior. Dropping down, trying to get your pinky fingers to touch the floor, trying to get the crown of the head to the floor or to the inner ankle. Working your shoulder really in between that front leg. Hold it here, inhale. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, lift the body, keep the arms bound, find your crescent lunge position. I didn't think this one through in terms of how close the plant is to me, so I'm gonna dive into that plant. You're gonna come into Dekasana. So you're gonna shift, weight forward, find the stability in your ankle, your foot tip, down. Now back leg is really lifted, please don't let it be a dead weight. Push through the back toes, squeeze through the glute, keep your arms bound. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Come into standing split. Now standing split, again, active through that top foot. Fingertips on the floor if you want the extra challenge. Right hand comes to the back of the right leg. You're gonna really hug in. Keep pointing up through the top foot. You've got to have extension through everything. My bottom foot is pressing down, my top foot is pressing up. I'm going to try to balance here by taking both hands to the back of the leg. Belly pulls in, hold for 3, 2, 1. Hands down, bend your right knee. Don't lose your microphone. Okay, I've lost my microphone. So stay there. And what you're gonna do is press into the hands and you're gonna hop back. Okay, that's it. So from here, we're in a standing split position. We've hopped slightly back on our mat. Gaze forward, bend the right leg, tap your left toes on the floor. Please point your toes at all time. From here, 5 kicks. Looking forward, never look down. we want to go forward, okay? So from here, hop. Notice I'm kicking that right foot in. Hop. Getting higher each time. Hop. A little bit more air time on the last two. Last one, see if you can hop and hold. Hold here. Ribs in. If you've fallen out, don't worry. Slowly control it back down. Find child's pose. Feet together, knees out wide. Push the hips to the heels. Turn the palms up. Resist the temptation to kind of look around and distract yourself. Yes, the practice is intense. Let the head come down. Breathe in. Breathe out. I want to keep the meditative state. Keep this focus. Stay down in your child's pose. Relax your shoulders as much as possible. Deep breath in, full breath out. We're almost there. We've reached the peak of the practice. So we're going to start to calm down from here, but we've obviously got to do the other side. Okay, so breathe in, full breath out. Inhale, pull forward, all fours position. Bring the knees in, hip distance, hands shoulder distance. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. You go ahead while I fix my mic. Okay, good. Downward dog. Left leg lifts up. Inhale, stay focused. No judgment on whether you can or you can't do it on this side. Swing it forward. Okay, from here, back foot flattens to the floor. Windmill the arms. Inhale, breath moves you, not the other way around. Exhale, sink into it. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Hug the shoulder blades in, lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, tip forward. Humble warrior, dropping in. Drop the head, head down, pinkies to the floor. Check in with that back foot. Are you totally unaware of it? Is it sinking in? Lift the inner arch of the back foot. Belly pulls in, head down. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, one more. Calming the mind, exhale, utilizing the breath to do it. Inhale, lift up. We find crescent lunge position with the bound arms and we're going straight into Dekasana. Lean forward, shift that weight, try to float straight into it. Lifting the back leg, back foot is pointed, lean. Squeeze through your right glute, extend through the heart, hold. Release down, hands come to the floor, standing split. Kick that leg up in the air as much as you possibly can, using your right glute. Now left hand comes to the back of the leg and use it to help you go deeper, kicking that right foot up as high as you can. If you want to take the balance, let's challenge it. Right fingertips come off the floor, hold for 3, whoop, for 2, you're doing better than me, and for 1, hands come down. From here, hands down, hop it back so you have a little bit more space on your mat. Move your hands. Now one side always feels more comfortable in the handstand than the other. Just let it be. We got to build balance. Core tight, eyes forward, eyes on the prize. Okay, let's go. Hop 1, 2, everything active. You do it in your own time. I want 5 hops. Finding a little bit more air time each time, and on the last one, let's try and go up and hold. Or you can twist out and come out of it like I did. Okay, if you're still in it, stay in it. Come down with control. Coming all the way to the floor, feet together. Coming into our child's pose, head down. Breathe here. Breathing in, breathing out. So from here, push yourself back up out of child's pose, bring the knees in, hands come to the hips, and just come into a hip distance position with your legs. Now, if you're on a really hard ground or you find that your bones really feel the ground, then feel free to roll up the outer edges of your mat, okay, for a little bit of knee protection here. We're gonna tuck the toes. If you'd like to go straight into it, then you can keep your feet flat. Yeah, the toes flat. Hands come to the lower back. Now, no matter how advanced your practice, I'd really like you to think of it in this way, okay? So just come with me for this whole cueing and variation of camel pose, which we're gonna go into. So, Ustrasana. So one hand to the belly, one hand to the lower back. Now, I want you to just notice how much curvature there is, if there's any sort of like extension through the belly, extension through the spine. And I want you to reverse that. Belly pulls in. At the same time, bring some hands to the front of the ribs and pull them down. Belly in, tailbone tucks, squeeze through your glutes. Now from here, we're gonna take the hands to the lower back, push the hips forward. This should be a hip flexor and lower ab stretch, not so much a back bend, yeah? So we're trying to open up the front of the body here. So hips push forward, lift up through the chest, let your lower back bend, but without sticking your glutes back. Glutes stay squeezed to protect the lower back. Now, one hand at a time, we're gonna bring the hands down to the heels, lift up by lifting through the chest, but keeping the ribs down. Start to drop your head slightly without completely collapsing. Chin tucks in. You should feel like your glutes are squeezing here to get the stretch at the lower abs in the front of the hip. Take a breath here. And then come up, same time, pull with your abs, hands at the heart, come to sit on your heels. Neutral spine, allow it to relax, palms face up at the ceiling. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in. Full breath out, relaxing through the shoulders. From here, take the hands down to the floor, come into an all fours position, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, lengthen back. Shake out your head, yes and no. Back of the neck releases. Let's find the vinyasa. Inhale, high push up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Keep those glutes squeezing. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Right leg lifts up, inhale. And then swing the foot to the outside of the right hand. Sinking through the hip, lizard pose, but I want you to keep it relatively active. So come up to the fingertips. Yes, you can drop that back knee to the floor. Let's take the hands off and hold. So you're in a stretch position, but your body still has to work for it. Take the left hand down to the floor, reach the right arm forward, inhale, take it all the way up, open it up. From here, take the hand to the back of the head, drop the elbow down to the floor, and then take it up and open out. Exhale, inhale. Good, hand comes down to the floor. At the inside, lift the back knee off, tuck the right foot in, come into pigeon position. Take whichever variation of pigeon you would like, in the sense that if your heel is really close to your hip, it's going to be a little easier. If the foot is further forward, it's going to be a little harder, okay? And then from there, just notice we're going to do an active pigeon, so it is hard to go into full turnout, okay? Keep the back toes tucked. Again, everything active, hands come off. We're going to take a breath in, we're going to lower down. So we're making that glute work even though it's in a stretch position. Push to lift back up. Inhale. Exhale, drop down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. From here, shift the weight over and bring that back leg up slightly. Try to lift it off the floor as you bring it close. Yeah, so it comes down next to the foot. Take the hands behind you, lift the hips off the floor, tuck the tailbone, bring it back down. Left forearm comes to the floor, right forearm comes to the floor, sorry. You're stretching out the left side. We're gonna lift through the chest. Inhale, reach it up and twist over. Take it down, inhale, reach it up and reach over. Take it down, inhale, reach up and really twist over. From here, come back. Maybe you're going to bring the left elbow down. Tuck the tailbone at all times. Keep that foot nice and close to you. Maybe you're going to come all the way down. No major arching through the lower back is key here. If you can, maybe hugging the right knee in towards the chest. Ribs must stay down. Let's take a deep breath in here. And release a full breath out. Inhale here. Release a full breath out. From there, release the foot, roll onto your side, kick the leg out from underneath you, hug the knees in towards your chest, squeeze the knees in. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling, hands come to the back of the head, lift the head and shoulders off, and come into a tabletop position with your legs. So ribs are staying down here as much as possible, belly is staying down as well. Now, you can take this I'm going to show you the hardest variation first and then scale it back. So knees are over hips, back is imprinted into the floor, belly is drawn in, head and shoulders stay off. I'm going to drop and extend the leg, bring it back. Drop, extend it back. Yeah? That's variation, the strongest one. Scaling it back slightly, we can let our hands come to the floor and we're going into extension like this. Remember, you need to keep your form really tight here. Okay, so if your back for a second comes off the floor, if your belly blows up for a second, yeah, you need to then scale it back. Don't try and push on through. This is not, about trying to just like push through bad form. What's the point? The point is to master perfect form at every variation. Let's go for it. Inhale, bring it back. If you have a clicking in the hip, internally rotate the leg. Yeah? Belly in, keep your eyes on your belly. Try to keep the spine pressing down into the floor and the belly drawing in towards the spine. If it blows up towards the ceiling, it means that your core is switching off and you're using your hip flexors and maybe a little bit of your rectus abdominis. So really draw it in. For another 5, 4, ribs down, 3, 2, and 1. Knees hug in towards the chest, squeeze them in, rock up and down the spine. Get enough momentum, hands come to the floor, come into downward facing dog. Let's reset the vinyasa. Inhale, high push-up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog, squeeze, pressing back. Okay, left leg lifts up, inhale. Good, keep those hips square. Exhale, lizard. So we step it forward and out, keeping it nice and active. Drop the back knee to the floor. Yeah? From here, taking your hands off for a second to really feel everything activate through this position. Right hand comes down to the floor. Left arm reaches forward. Reach out of the hip. Inhale, up and out. Hand comes to the back of the head. Take it down, elbow to the floor if you can, and then take it up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, and then hand comes down. From here, lift, tuck, pigeon position, but active pigeon, okay? So back toes stay tucked, hands come off. You're really active through the glute here. Drop it down, lift it up, drop it down, lift it up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Shift the weight over to the side. Bring the leg up and try to lift the knee off the floor as you bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Yeah? So trying not to just shift the weight over and bring it up, trying to really be active through the glute. Take the hands behind you, lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, make sure that that right knee is next to the left foot, and that the right foot is next to your right hip. Okay, from here, left forearm comes down, right arm is in line with that right leg. Take it up, inhale, reach up and twist over. If you don't get the twist, guys, you're gonna lose this stretch. Release down. We're trying to hit the fascia. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, up, and exhale. Good, from there, come back to center. We're gonna bring the elbows down, lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, and maybe come all the way down. Your right knee should not lift off the floor. Tuck the tailbone. If you need to, make it deeper. Hold on to the leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Let yourself roll onto your side. Kick the leg out, coming onto your back. Same position, head and shoulders lift off, belly flat, tabletop. Let's go. Take it out, bring it in. Take it out, bring it in. Watch that this doesn't happen. Can you see that? That defeats the purpose as well, okay? Because you're counterbalancing the stress on the hip and the abs. So the knee has to come directly over the hip. Bring it up, change. Head and shoulders lifted off the floor. If you're taking that harder variation, belly must stay flat, spine must imprint on the floor. No neutral spine. Sorry, Pilates teachers. I want you to keep the imprint. Tabletop. Belly in. Rounded spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees hug in, squeeze them in, rock from side to side, slowly releasing. Okay. From here, we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees rest out wide. Lift the hips, tuck the tailbone. So releasing and opening out deep inner thigh muscles. This sort of really relaxes your core as well. Palms face up at the ceiling. Hold it here. Okay. So I'm going to take my ponytail out because it's right in the wrong place. And we're just going to take 10 breaths here. Palms onto the belly, shoulders down the back. If it gets too intense on your inner thighs, of course you can take your feet closer to the edge of the mat to make it a little bit easier. But I'd like you to really focus on trying to aim for 10 breaths here. Inhale and exhale 1. I'm not going to count the whole way through, but I'd like you to count in your mind, allowing yourself to stay as still as you possibly can. You count each exhale starting at 10 until you get down to 1. Try to allow the exhalation to be longer than the inhalation. So we start to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. If your mind is extra busy today, just tune in to the sound and feeling of the breath whenever you catch yourself somewhat distracted. Relax your face, your eyes, your shoulders, your neck. When you've finished your 10 breaths, and if you're still going, by all means continue. Come to interlace your fingers and extend your arms up above your head, stretching up. Take the hands down to the thighs and bring the knees in together, carrying them. Squeeze the knees in towards your chest. Gently rock from side to side, massaging out through the lower back here a little bit. Coming back to center and stillness, hold the right leg in, let the left leg extend all the way down to the floor. Hug it in towards your armpit so we get a little bit of compression. For that ascending colon, we're the only species that has to really push our digestive system up against, or one of the only that has to push our digestion up against gravity. Yeah, our ascending colon. So this posture here, Pavanmuktasana, massages your ascending colon on this side, which is really good at helping digestion. Okay, take the leg across the body down to the floor, coming into a twist. Now for your twist, knee comes down to the floor. Take your arm up and back, out to the side. But this time lift your head, turn your head to the same direction as your leg. Yeah, so to the left. So we take pressure off the cervical spine and instead we're just stretching through the chest. Relaxing the stomach, nice compression for your belly. Relax the left shoulder as well. Relax your face. Remember, I want to start to sort of wind down. So we stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. And then come back to center, bring the knee back into the chest, squeeze in. And then release the leg all the way down to the floor. Interlace your fingers, reach up. Hug both knees in towards the chest, squeezing in. Keep hold of the left leg. Right leg extends down to the floor. Hug it in towards your armpit a little bit here. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. I want also an opening through the front of the right hip as well. Yeah, okay. And then when you're ready, take the leg across the body. I need to move my mic. Take the leg across the body down to the floor. Hold onto the leg. Left arm goes back behind you, but turn your head to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Belly pulls in, allow that compression around the digestive organs as well. Bring it back to center. Interlace the fingers, arms reach up, point the toes. Inhale, and then exhale, hug both knees in towards the chest, squeezing the knees in. Now, I'd like you to come into Shavasana for full relaxation. So legs extended all the way out. Walk the shoulder blades down the back, palms face up at the ceiling. I'm, however, going to sit up. And if you'd like to sit up, of course, by all means, you can take a meditation position. Sitting up, I'm going to sit on a cushion. The reason I'm sitting up is that I find it easier to guide you through a Shavasana while I'm in a seated position. So I'd like you to find the most comfortable position for you. If you'd like to bend your knees in Shavasana, go ahead. If you're sitting tall, make sure that you are relatively comfortable. That's why I like to sit with something underneath the hips to raise them slightly. The shoulders stay nice and relaxed. Palms down if you're seated, or palms up, I don't mind. If you're lying on the floor in Shavasana, palms up as a gesture of surrender. Allow your eyes to close, take a deep breath in, and a full breath out. I'd like you to just focus on the breath. It doesn't matter if your mind is busy. The mind's job is to analyze, process, consolidate. So it's completely normal for it to try to take over when you come into stillness. That does not mean that you are failing at meditation. It does not mean that you're failing at this practice. Instead, when you catch yourself distracted, just retrain, guide your awareness back to the sound and feeling of the breath. It's much like training in the gym. When you catch yourself executing an exercise with poor form, you don't decide that you're bad at exercise and just stop for life. Instead, you have to go, okay, what's the correct form? And train and retrain and train over and over again to teach your body the correct form. The same is with the mind. So every time your thoughts start to wander, start to become distracted, guide them back to the sound and feeling of the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping your eyes closed and your body still, just begin to welcome in a slightly deeper breath. So allow the breath to really fill you. Feel the inhalation and follow it with your awareness, spreading down into the tips of your fingers and your toes. There's no need to rush. Do not open your eyes yet. Keep them closed. And then very slowly come to move through the tips of your fingers and toes. Interlace your fingers and extend your arms up above your head, pointing your feet, stretching, taking a deep breath in. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest, squeezing the knees all the way in, wrapping the arms around the legs. Let yourself roll onto your left or your right side. Make a pillow with your hands and just take a moment here. If you're in a seated position, of course, just remain in your seated position. Those of you lying down, come to sit up in a meditation position. Keep your eyes closed if you can, but of course, if you need to open your eyes to do so, that's fine. I don't mind how you sit, just as long as you can sit with a tall spine. Bring the palms together at your heart center, lifting the heart up to meet the thumbs. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Well done, everyone. Namaste. I hope you're feeling good. Please rehydrate. You know, sometimes yoga can be equivalent to like a massage, right? We're pushing stuff around. We don't drink for the full practice. You know, normally when you're doing a workout, you're drinking all the way through. So please make sure that you rehydrate as much as possible. You know, close down the laptop, turn off your phone, whatever you're watching this video on, try and disconnect from technology for a sec, right? There's no need to necessarily be doing anything on it. If an email popped up or whatever, I heard an email pop up in the background, I'm gonna resist. So just close this baby down, push the home button, do what you gotta do to shut it down, and just be in this yogic state. Feel this yoga high that you've just worked so hard to cultivate, and just enjoy it. Thank you so much for practicing. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, you know, before you close the computer down. And if you have any requests for yoga sequences, or for me to workshop any postures with you, let me know in the comments below and I can make that shiz happen. I'm out.